Hello, and thanks for joining today's webinar, Prep for the Fair, Resumes 101. This is one of many series within our Preparing You for the Fall Job and Internship Fair. My name is Felicia Parks, and I am one of the career advisors for the School of Communication. After years in public relations, journalism, and many other fields, one of the most interesting roles was my time as a recruiter, reviewing resumes to determine if a candidate met our hiring needs. Since your resume is one of the first ways to impress a potential employer with your relevant skills, we're going to discuss how to include measurable accomplishments that describe what you have to offer and entice the right employer to contact you. Feel free to grab a copy of your resume and mark on it as we cover several ideas for strengthening your targeted resume. Although knowing how to edit your resume is always a great skill to learn, I'm wondering how many of you are planning to participate in the upcoming virtual fair? Will this be your first job and internship fair? Have you registered on Handshake and reviewed the list of participating employers? If you haven't, you can start at the conclusion of this webinar. While this slide lists the various reasons for a resume, be sure to keep in mind that it's an individually designed document, essentially a tool used to market your skills to specific employers. No matter what resume format you choose, reverse chronological, functional, combination, federal, or more, it's key to select each word carefully and list all the items on this slide, so you'll pass the test of any screening device that employers use to select candidates for interviews. Many of you feel that sending your resume to an employer is like being under a magnifying glass. While it's true that employers are looking for the ideal candidate, your goal in creating a resume is to make that first meeting at a career fair, networking reception, or job interview a lot easier for both parties. Most importantly, your resume will stand out from others by incorporating the career skills identified by the National Association of Colleges and Employers. After surveying thousands of employers across countless industries, the top transferable skills listed included oral and written communication, equity and inclusion, collaboration and teamwork, critical thinking and analytical reasoning, decision-making and ethical judgment, or quantitative and applied technology. There are also learned skills from various courses, such as the steps your team used to brand an organization through a visual literacy class, or writing a client-focused press release for an introduction to public relations course. Even skills you've learned on your own, adaptability, organizational, punctuality, reliability, responsibility, are what we deem as self-management or soft skills that an employer also looks for in candidates. Now that we understand how skills help your resume stand out to employers, let's chat about the various elements of a targeted resume. It's these various sections that I've highlighted on our resume template, which can be found under the Prepare for the Search tab of American University's Career Center page. Resumes should be neatly formatted in one page for most candidates. As a former recruiter, it took mere seconds for me to review a resume and decide if it went into the no pile or the contact pile. Within your 5-second glance, what jumps out? How would others view the consistency of the fonts, bold, italicized text, or formatting? What about the amount of white space and the category headings, education, honors, course projects, experience, and skills? Here are the key elements on this resume template. Each bullet, not paragraphs, is written with action verbs. Accomplishments are clearly described with keywords that are relevant to the industry or possibly the job title. The resume is targeted towards a particular career goal that describes the experience, extracurriculars, and course projects that could possibly align with the employer's job description. Your header, basically your contact information, should contain a professional email address, such as your name at american.edu, not short and classy at hotmail.com. Other items you might include would be your current address, professional website, blog, social media handles, and LinkedIn page. Employers love local candidates, so determine to include your full current address or permanent address depends on the location of the position you're applying for. So if the internship is located in Virginia, then be sure to include your local Washington, D.C. campus address. However, if you're applying for a summer internship in New York, but live nearby with family in New Jersey, then be sure to use your permanent address. You may be wondering, will an employer hire me if I'm not local? Definitely. However, some employers become concerned about your availability to interview, the possibility for relocation support, or housing. So they may take a closer look at local candidates first, or those studying at what they defined as targeted schools. Education should include the school you're currently attending, such as American University, then followed by the name of the community college. Include the name of the institution, city, state, degree level, major, minor, and estimated date of graduation. Because of the exposure to another culture and possibly learning another language, be sure to include the institution and location of where you've studied abroad. If you're a freshman, you can include your high school, especially if that only institution can attest to your overall grade point average. Key thing to remember, begin with the most recent academic institution, then list additional degrees in reverse chronological order. To stand out in a competitive market, you may want to include these items: your grade point average, publications, as well as academic awards and scholarships. If appropriate, you would indicate the percentage of money you were awarded towards your education from these academic awards and scholarships. Let's think about school clubs and organizations that you've been involved with. What are some of them? And do they demonstrate your ability to lead a team, multitask, balance academia with extracurriculars? Shockingly enough, your involvement with student organizations can describe your accomplishments and indicate leadership positions you've held. If the type of organization is not clear from the name, then sprinkle in a brief explanation of the organization's purpose within your bulleted list of accomplishments. Oftentimes, describing certain course projects demonstrates to an employer that you've started the process of getting relevant industry experience, as well as feedback from the client, professor, or teammates. However, be sure to limit it to 2 or 3 course projects so that your resume remains one page. Check out the second page of our underclassmen template to see how you would strengthen the content within your resume by describing a course project, demonstrating your understanding of industry-related words, and outlining hands-on experience. One of the course projects that this template includes is Introduction to Systems of Justice course. Speaking of experience, commonly known as work experience or relevant experience, this section should also be listed in reverse chronological order, starting with your most recent experience. Make every word count on the page by ensuring each bullet is written with project, action, and result statements. If you want to demonstrate teamwork and you played sports, then consider writing organized collaborative workshops that strengthen sportsmanship, synergy, and team enthusiasm for the football team. If these descriptions for your involvement with sports or when you worked as a barista and you want to demonstrate customer service skills, then you may consider writing interacting with 200 customers daily, ensuring courteous and prompt service of their selected coffee, tea, or food item. Keep in mind, the resume is not where you want to undersell yourself or your experiences. Sometimes it's easier to describe experience when using the reverse editing technique. Here are some of the key words that I highlighted for a Capitol Hill reporter job found on journalismjobs.com. If you've majored in journalism or previously interned or worked in the field, then many of these keywords probably stuck out to you. Let's take a look at a resume that a candidate edited to ensure keywords, relevant experience, and transferable skills are included. It's highly possible that the employer will pause and read it a bit more carefully and will make it past the applicant tracking system, which is an online database that screens candidates and only forwards ideal ones to hiring managers. While your goal is to make your resume memorable, don't try to trick the reader with gimmicks such as pink paper, large print, or overly using graphics and pictures. However, you should consider incorporating industry buzzwords along with a list of skill clusters, basically verbs such as delegated, trained, designed, created, and more. If you're unable to locate resources within Handshake, then be sure to schedule a session with your career advisor, who is more than happy to share various handouts with you. We've covered a lot about resumes, so let's pause for a moment to review our resume checklist and ensure we've covered all key areas. Is it neatly formatted, and does it contain a header, education, honors, experience, language, and skills? Have you used bullets instead of paragraphs? Did you include strong action verbs such as delegated, promoted, but avoided words such as responsible and assisted? Does it clearly describe your accomplishments by using relevant keywords? Is it a one-page document, which is preferred for most candidates? And is it targeted toward your career goal? Have you saved it in various formats such as Word, PDF, or JPEG, realizing that PDF would maintain the layout you designed? And although it isn't always necessary, you can also ask yourself, did I design a resume that is suitable for different fields and industries so I can submit it for multiple applications? Our Career Center team is eager to help you answer these questions and help get you prepared for the job and internship fair during scheduled advising sessions or during the resume drop-in sessions, which are held just before the fair. If you've missed any of our previous prep sessions, then be sure to check out our YouTube page, which has an extensive list of presentations and is often followed by Q&As. You can search Resume Station within Handshake to get the Zoom link, then join us between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday, September 20th, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, September 21st, or from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesday, September 22nd. We have a YouTube video that will tell you more about how to prepare for the virtual fair. However, here are some quick highlights. Some employers will chat with you via text, but others will request to connect with you through video. It's very important to dress professionally and tidy up the background area so that your camera does not reveal clothes and inappropriate pictures or posters to the employer you're speaking with. Ensure the representative can see and hear you. This means having light in front of you, and if possible, being in a location that has no additional background noise and where you're less likely to be interrupted. As you prepare for the virtual job and internship fair, go with a strategy and ask yourself, what is my overall goal? The next question should be, have I prepared and practiced my elevator pitch, which is basically my targeted opening speech to an employer? Lastly, be sure to ask yourself, have I researched the various employers to determine who I'd like to meet with? And what are my plans for following up? Here's a snapshot of our amazing peer advisors and career advisors who are available except during holidays, exams, or weekends for drop-in critiques or scheduled advising sessions, all with the goal of reviewing your resume or helping you practice your elevator pitch. Check out the Make an Appointment tab on the Career Center's website to see the various and times peer advisors are available for drop-ins, or log into Handshake to see when your advisor is available for one-on-one appointments. Thank you for joining today's webinar. By registering through Handshake, you'll receive handouts on resume writing, commonly described positions, list of skill clusters, and our resume template. We hope you've learned various ways to strengthen your resume and are eager to apply for the next internship, part-time, full-time job, fellowship, or more. We'll now open the chat for any questions you may have. Thank you.